Hi, this will be a recorded session as well. So we've had quite a few people reach out, want to view the recording. So we will record it and we will upload this directly to our community as well. So this is one of those things that we're doing every Wednesday. I'll create a habit of it. So we've got 4 booked in for the next 4 weeks. The first one this week will be optimizing your strategy in Empiraa. Next week will be connecting your Empiraa to your current tech stack, which is really important. A lot of people ask about how do I create workflows and connect it up to the current work stack that I've currently got. The week after that, we'll be building out a sales strategy in Empiraa. A lot of people ask, what's the greatest way to build a sales strategy in Empiraa? So we're able to build that out. Then on the 17th, we were doing an Empiraa Ask Me Anything. So we'll be taking a lot of questions between now and then, as well as from live attendees. We all also understand that, middle of the day is really, really difficult to do, or middle of the morning. So that's why we do this we've got the American market as well as the Australian market. So attending live is great. If you can't attend live, it's all about just being able to have access to the recordings to see what the record word's all about, so that way we can actually help you grow your business. And on the 24th, we've got different strategic frameworks in Empiraa. So regardless if you use KPIs, OKRs, EOS, it's all in there. So we can actually start showing people how you can implement your strategic framework inside Empiraa. So let's get started. Just to get things going so that way people are not waiting forever. So I'll share my screen. So currently, the thing with Empiraa is, why the point of Empiraa is to help people take their strategies from here, a static document. As you can see here, this is your typical strategy where people sit there and go, okay, well, how do I build a strategy? Okay, well, they get a consultant or they build it themselves. And what they'll do is they'll download a document, and part of that document is they build out this strategy. They'll add a mission statement. They'll add their goals, which are your sales goals, cultural goals, operational goals, whichever it be. But for this example, we're going to be using that. Here you'll be able to see, okay, our sales goals, we want to increase market share. Our culture goals, foster a collaborative and innovative culture, and operational goals that they want to run efficiently. So this is your prototypical strategic plan that most companies will get from a consultant in this sort of format. So the difference between Empiraa versus other formats is a live cloud-based environment. So what we want to do is take this strategy that's sitting there in a doc, which docs are great, but they're not effective, and put it into Empiraa. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to walk you through how this is set up in Empiraa, and then we can also see how quick we can actually build this into Empiraa, but then start creating some workflows around it and how to optimize it. So we can see here we've got Nova Launch in Empiraa. So we've got the boring old spreadsheet, and then we're starting to build into a live cloud-based environment. You can see we've got Nova Launch. So it's a demo account, our mobile number, what year our financial year starts. We can upload our own logo, and then we can also change the colors up here to brand it out to suit your own company. So we go vision statement. So let's add our vision statement into Empiraa. The reason why we've got vision statements in Empiraa is that way every day that your team can actually see how your vision is actually carrying ahead. Vision statements generally sit there in a document and never actually go anywhere. So what we want to do is make sure that the vision statement is a living, breathing, dynamic part of their business. So if you're a consultant, it's a really good way to sort of go through and go, what's your vision statement? Okay, it was this. Okay, let's evolve it to this. Core values. So your core values and vision are really the two things that underpin any good strategic plan. Why are you doing what you're doing, and how are you going to do it ethically? And this is on here, we've got a lot of different selections. You can actually use AI tools here that connect up to GPTs. We're actually building a lot of AI into the platform as we speak that will be released in the next month or so. I know we get asked a lot for PDFs. We're actually building something AI-wise that'll be actually generate reports. You can export to PDFs, export to PowerPoints, export to Word. We're building that with Google as we speak. So we're sort of parked doing it in a really stagnant way and doing it in a really dynamic way. But going back to here, core values, and then if you need to create your own, you can easily go here, create your own. We put that little symbol there and go be unreal. And let's be unreal. Save. So you can create your own. Really, really simple. Next step, goals. Now, this is the one where people go, okay, what are our goals? Well, generally, goals are really underpin the success of a really good plan. And Empiraa, or on actually any sort of plan in total, any sort of strategic plan. What are the goals you're trying to achieve, and then what are the objectives to achieve it? That's sort of the framework that we use in Empiraa. So you can see here, we'll start putting this together. We've got a sales goal, which is increase market share in the commercial space flight, because we're building this for Nova launch, and we want that to run from the start of June to the end of June in 2025. Then we want to add another goal. So this one's a 3-goal structure, and we want to build a culture goal. So as you see here, we've got these. So we're taking these and putting them from here into Empiraa. So it becomes into a live environment. So we've got culture goals, foster a collaborative and innovative workspace, super important. And let's just say this goal, we actually want to do this from the 1st of June, but we want it to run to the end of the year. We can run goals at different times and temperatures for Empiraa. So we're basically creating this to be a very, very flexible workplace. And then the last goal, which is the operational goals. So let's go off here, and we put that there. And we want to create this one from the 1st of June, but we actually want to run this for 2 years, because we want to operationally run this business over the next 2 years. We've got a very large overarching strategic plan to get this operationally firing. So you can see here, we've got sales goals, culture goals, and operational goals with timelines. So you can see here, this is your plan, and this is your plan in Empiraa. Very, very simple. And we can add more goals and remove goals, that type of stuff if we need to, but we don't need to at the moment. So let's go next. We've got one team, which is Team Nova. So we'll just keep that at the moment. So Team Nova is the whole business. What you can do also, you can have like a board team. You can have Nova board. And that one there is for just the executives. So teams, what they do is teams keep the goal all aligned to that particular team. It's really, really important. So that way you can have the sales team working on sales goals, the operations team working on operational goals, and not having to get cross-pollinated and sit there and go, well, why are they working on what they're working on? So that way at least we've got a sort of really exciting, not that exciting, but we've got a really, really good way of just connecting to the plan overall, because a lot of people they do get frustrated at times where it's like, well, why can't we, why do I need to know what sales is doing? We go next. We've got our team members here. I've already put them in. We've got Dr. Spock, Palpatine. Really, really easy. If we want to add another person, we'll say Homer Simpson, because he knows all about how to run a thing. I put a nuclear power inspector, and we'll make him a team member. So the difference between team members and admins. So admins have got access to everything. Team members have only got access to what they're allocated to. So that's fine. Now we want to start setting up our teams, and this is the last part of the plan setup. So we go, okay, Dr. Spock is in charge of Team Nova. Nick Homer and me can go in there. The reason team leaders, they sit across the top of the team and then it filters down. Really, really simple. And Nova board is, let's just say, Dr. Spock and Palpatine. We go finish, and here's our plan. Our goals are sitting right here. So the cool thing is we can turn around and go, actually, operation, let's create the culture. That's more important. Let's drag that and put that there. What we want to do now is actually start to build this plan out and then start optimizing it. So that's where this is the whole point of it. How do we build a plan and optimize? So you saw there in 5 minutes, we were able to set up the plan, set up the goals, and set up our team members. So within 5 minutes, you could take a static document and put it into an Empiraa live environment with goals. So if we go here, let's start building out. Let's go with the sales goal. Everyone loves sales. So let's make objective number 1, which is achieve a 20% increase in sales. So let's go here, add objective. And we want to achieve a 20% increase in sales by FY25, so financial year 25. And we want Palpatine to look after that. And this here is a KPI and a financial KPI. So currently they're doing $1 million in sales. And they want to get $1.2 million in sales by the end of the year. So you can see here, we've got 20% increase. We've got a KPI. We've got a financial KPI. We've got a starting value of $1 million that they did currently now, and they want to get to $1.2 million by the end of the year. So you can see here, we want a positive outcome. So anything above that, that's a really good thing. Now below is for budgets. So you might say we only want to spend $900,000, and if it's below that, that's actually a good thing. So it allows you to have a bit of flexibility there. It's got high impact, and we want to check in on this monthly on the 10th of every month. We go save, and we go publish. Now, if we go back to here, go to full. It's always important too. Sometimes people, I don't know where my objectives are, and for a second I didn't either, which is strange considering I designed the program. Always have a look up here that you got full, that gives you full access. So if you're an admin, you can see everything. What's the name? User, you can only see the objectives that are aligned that you've got, and team, you can only see the team and your objectives. So you can see here already, we've been able to build out a KPI that's increased 20% increase in sales by FY25 already. Now, if we want to have a look here, and let's just say they've already done 125,000 in, so they're 12,500 in sales already. You can see there that that's where they need to be. They're expected to do 12.6 thousand on top of that 1 million. And now they've already done 12.5. You can see that it's in the 5% range. So you can see that they're on track already. Submit. So we go back here, you have a look and go, okay, we're on track. Orange means we're at risk, but we're going to keep an eye on it. Red means no good. And green means we're kicking goals. But orange means we're okay, we're on the mark. We're 6.2% of the way through at this current point. So that line measures where you're at to this current point on this day. It's live, real time. It measures that. Okay, let's add another goal. Let's add another objective. So we want to expand the customer base by 10 for this sales one. So let's put it in here. We assign that to myself. And we want to, this is a metric KPI. And we've started with 90 customers. And we want to end up with 100. We want to end up with 100 new customers by the end of the year. So once again, we go on and above. We want to check this in monthly, and we go on the 1st. Let's publish that. And we're about to release this week, which I'll show you the updates in a minute. But you won't have to hit publish, and it'll just automatically do it. So there'll be less clicks, and they'll be released in 2 days actually. So we'll say the 26th here in Australia, so by the end of the week. So you can see here, expand the customer base by targeting 10 new businesses and research institutes. Now, if I go to user, I can see that's my one. So that KPI is aligned to is allocated to me. So I can see the ones that are allocated to me, so I can focus on which ones are which. Now, just say here, I want to move that one to there. I can move that there, which is good. So I might want to reorder it. So let's put one more into sales, and let's launch a new marketing campaign. And let's assign that to Dr. Spock. And they've currently got 100 leads coming in, and they want 115. Measure that. And they want on the first to measure how many leads. Publish. So now we've built out our sales goal. We want to increase the market share and revenue in the commercial spaceflight industry. We want to launch a new marketing campaign that will generate increase 15% more leads. So we were at 100, now we want 115. We want to achieve a 20% increase in sales by the end of 2025, and we want to expand the new market by 10. So we're at 90, and we want to go to 100. So suddenly already we've got this already built out, and that was 6 minutes. So far the plan took us 5 minutes to set up, and it took us 6 minutes to build this out, just by adding this. Now we want to prioritize this and go, actually achieve 20% increase in annual sales. We want that to be the top one. We just drag that and put that to the top. So let's add the culture goals at the same time, so we can see how different goals work. So this one here will be an OKR. That's the performance-based OKR, company-wide recognition program. Let's assign that to me. That's a performance-based OKR. So that one's very different. So you don't check that in. There's not an actual metric behind that. So what it is the user will update the percentage that they're working through it. I'm 50% through the project. I'm 20% through the objective, that type of stuff. So there we go there. Let's add organize a quarterly team. Let's put team building events. Assign that to Sheev. So this is a KPI metric. So we start at 0 because we haven't done any, and we want to finish at 4 by the end of the year. Then we measure that. We want to measure that monthly. We'll put that on the first. Publish that. And the last one for this is we want to provide ongoing training and development. So we make that. And Homer Simpson, because Homer hasn't done anything so far. And this is the OKR and a task. So we're measuring this as an OKR. And we want to measure this monthly on the 4th. Homer will get a notification on the 4th of every month to update this objective if he hasn't updated it previously. So it will continually bring them back in. So they'll get an email, hey Homer, and they'll get a little notification bell up here, and that will bring him back into it. And the last goal, as you can see there, we built another goal in 2 minutes. So we really have designed Empiraa to be a very fast and effective tool to transfer your current plans of a static document to this. Honestly, we've designed it to be fast, and we're making it even faster by implementing 2 clicks, which I'll preview at the back end of this webinar. And we've got reduced production time by 15%. This is a OKR, a performance-based OKR. We've got 2 to go, improve quality control, and then we'll start really getting deep into improved quality control. We'll give that to Sheev. That there is a metric KPI. So currently the target, they're currently getting 90% and they want to get to 98%. Publish that. And the last one, streamline. And the last one, of course, is streamline chain management. So we go bang. So this has all been built out already in your in the plans that you generally look. Consultants will have a plan and they'll sit there and they'll go, okay, this is what we want to do, and the way they've structured the plan, and then you could easily bring it into Empiraa, so you could convert it. Now this one here is, its starting value is $1 million. So they're currently spending $1 million, but they want to reduce it to 900,000 for the year. So you can actually have here on and below. So we actually want to reduce costs. So adding a positive outcome for this is on or below. And then we go, bang, save. And now in 14 minutes, we've converted this plan into Empiraa here. So we've now got sales goal. We've got a sales goal here, increase market share and revenue in the commercial space flight industry. And that's what that was. And now it's in a living, breathing environment, allocated to people and measurable. This is the key. There's no point having a plan that doesn't action. This Empiraa is the bridge between this strategy and action, and that's built from my experience of managing teams and then just not being a super effective way to operate. So for me, it's really, really important to have, how do we create effective, smart teams. You can see here we've got workplace culture. That's all built out. We go here. All these are living in here, and they're allocated to Steve, who is now looking after the team building events. Homer Simpson, who's now looking after ongoing training and development. That's a bit of a worry. And myself, who's looking after the employee recognition program. And then you can see here, we've got the operational goal, improve quality control measures. So we've got here, improve quality control measures. So we can see there, that one was second. So let's move that to there. Simple. We move it, drag and drop. We move it from one spot to the next. And then you can really, really collaborate around what you're actually doing. And then you know what's priority. So let's just go through here. Now, let's just say we're going to launch a new marketing campaign. So let's just say when with the leads, we've already picked up 2 new leads from our new marketing campaign, which is great. So we're already ahead. And we want to expand the target, expand the 10 new customers. Let's just go 0. We haven't done anything yet. We haven't brought in any new customers on top of the 90. So we look at our customer base. We've only got 90. We've still got 90. Team building events. You can see we've already done one. Let's just say. So Sheev would have got an email from Empiraa say update, or he's ran the event. He's gone in and updated his KPI, metric KPI in Empiraa. We've looked here, ongoing training and development. So Homer's about 20% through this, believe it or not. He's actually done, he's started building out the work. And you can see here, company-wide recognition program. And we can see that they've only just really started. They've had a meeting. They're only really 5% through this particular objective. And you can see there, they're behind the 8 ball. And the last one here, reduced production time. They've already, if we go into actuals, they haven't started. So they got a notification in June and they're like, oh, we haven't started yet. Improve quality control measures. They've added 1% to that, so they're at 91% already. And this one here is so we've been able to reduce we've been able to reduce it by 2,500 our cost so far, and that's put us in a good spot. So this is allowing us to see the impact of the work so far. Now, if we go into my plan, you'll be able to see this is the high level view. So once again, we've talked about optimizing the plan. So this is about having a really good overview of the overall plan. So we can see our vision statement, we can see our core values. Once again, if you're an admin, you can edit those. You can turn around and go, okay, actually, we want to change that. I just want to put a rocket ship on there because everyone loves a rocket ship. There we go, save. And then suddenly it's there. So we can constantly evolve our vision statement. Our core values, we might say be bold. We actually don't want to be bold anymore. We want to be change leaders. So then suddenly we're change leaders. Then we get the high level view. So the high level view is really good to work with if you're a consultant, to work with your clients on the high level view, or if you're in a business, you can work with your staff or in board level or management meetings. So you don't get bogged down in the details. But just say here we want to go, oh, okay, we want to achieve a 20% increase of sales by 2025. Okay, we can see we're actually tracking okay there. Let's go into here. Then suddenly you've got the whole detail around this objective, and we can tag Sheev. So, Sheev, how are we going with this? Need a hand, and that will tag Sheev, and it'll show him that you've commented, and then he can comment back or reply directly back to that. And if he also needs to upload a document, he quite easily just go upload a file. Put a picture of Spock for some reason and post it. Here is Spock because it is. So then you'll be able to keep track of the files that are actually in Empiraa. On here as well, so we go back to the My Plan. So suddenly we were able to have a living and breathing plan. So going back to the original document, this is a document to add comments, that type of stuff. It can really, really get messy and get really bogged down very, very, very fast. So it's a lot easier for to have in a tight, contained environment where you can see, okay, well, team building, we're 25% through. Awesome. We don't need to focus on that at the moment. Employee company-wide recognition program. Oh, how come we're a bit behind on there? Let's just jump in and speak to Ash and find out what's going on there. Going back to, reduce production time. Okay, well, what's happening here? And we can go in and say, okay, well, no, it hasn't started. Okay, that's fine. Now, one of the cool things that a lot of people ask is, how do I build out objective trees? And this is where the fun sort of begins. So right now we've got a very high level view, and we've taken this strategy from a document and we've put it into Empiraa, into a cloud-based environment. Now we want to actually start going, okay, well, let's how are we going to create this 20% increase in sales by FY25? Because at the moment it's very high level. We're just sitting there going, get 20% increase. So let's actually go into the objective manager and let's just edit it for the moment. And we're sitting there going, okay, how are we going to get this increase? So what we want to do is we want to divide it up into different business units. So we might actually go, okay, well, to get 20% increase in, where are we getting that 20% increase from? So let's just put in here the rocket department sales. And we're going to assign that to me. So we're going to say, at the moment, you're starting with 0, but we want you to get an additional $150,000 worth of sales over that period. We allocate that to, and we can see here, we haven't allocated everything. So we'll highlight that there's $50,000 missing effectively from it. We've got a starting value of we've got 200,000, it's allocated 150. So we want to kind of add another 50,000. So it's highlighting to us that we really need to focus on, okay, how do we achieve this? So this is a much easier way to do it. We go, okay, well, what we want to do here is we go, let's go to rocket hat sales, because we want to sell some merchandise. But we're going to give rocket hat, Dr. Spot's looking after rocket hat sales. He's starting with $0, but he's going to grow to $50,000 worth of sales. So we also got to allocate that $1 million to our general sales. So we can say general sales, and we want to allocate that $1 million to the general sales that we did last year. So we're going to get the growth from rocket sales and rocket hat sales. So that's how we're going to get that extra $200,000 worth of growth. And so Ash is in charge of rocket sales, general sales, as well as rocket sales, and Dr. Spock's going to look after rocket hat sales. But we want to create some actions around those as well, because the actions of those will actually help drive how we actually achieve this particular goal. So if we go here and we go, okay, well, we want to create some actions. So general sales is make phone calls. And we want Homer to make 500 phone calls in the next year. Well, let's just say 1,000. Make Homer work a little bit harder. So actions don't align to the objective, but what it does do, it actually creates an action for that person that they can measure. So it's a perfect example is, okay, general sales, make phone calls. And then we want to allocate another one. Let's just say we add action, attend events. Attend industry events, and we want to allocate that to myself, and we say, okay, we want you this year to go to 10 events. And now if we publish this, you'll be able to see, if we click on view the objective, suddenly we've got achieved 20% in revenue. We've got general sales, so we've divided it up into these, and we've got rocket department sales as well as rocket hat sales. Now, if we click here, you'll see that what are the actions that we need to do to achieve these. Okay, we need to make phone calls and we need to attend events. So if we go here, let's update the actuals. Now with the actuals, we can actually, so rocket sales department, so they've done 10,000 rocket hat, they've done 5,000, and general sales, they've done 15,000. Now we can see, if we go back to here, we can say, okay, we're actually ahead of where we need to be, which is great. We've completed 16,500, and we're expected to only complete 12,500 over the top of the mill. But you can see here, general sales is down. We've only done 1,500, but our rocket sales are actually right on track at the moment, as well as the 5,000 for the rocket hat sales. But general sales is down. Let's have a look at why. And now we can start saying, well, actually, we haven't made any phone calls. We haven't attended any events. And so now we can start tracking the reasons why. And those KPIs or OKRs are now in mine or allocated to figure. So I can look at it and go, okay, these are my KPIs or objectives I'm looking after. It's like, okay, I need to reduce production time. Actually, I kind of want to put that up here. That's more important. I'm in charge of rocket sales for the department, general sales, as well as attend events. I haven't really attended any events. Actually, no, I have. I better update that because I went to the National Rocket Convention and I went to a networking event. So I went to 2 events this month. So I would get a notification to say, okay, have you attended events? And now you can see that, yes, I have attended events. At this point, I'm supposed to basically attend 1. I've already attended 2, so I'm ahead of where I need to be. But the general sales are down, so I can start asking why are those sales down. So that's really sort of the high level of Empiraa and how to sort of start optimizing it. To optimize it, it's really about just creating, like, you got your top line objectives and start creating objectives underneath that, because that is really, really important to sort of, okay, you've got your $1 million. How are you going to deliver that $1 million? Okay, we can see here with the general sales, let's split that up to $1 million. The sales increase, we're going to do $1 million in sales in general sales. We're going to do 150,000 in rocket department sales and 50,000 in rocket hat sales. Okay, cool. How are we going to do general sales? What's the actions we need to do? We need to attend events. We're doing well there. We need to make phone calls. So we can actually just go through here and have a look and go, okay, these are the things we need to do. So it's about aligning and optimizing your strategy to create it to be workable. So rather than sort of just turning around and going, once again, it's on a static document, because guess what? There's millions of static documents, billions of static documents in the world. Here it's about aligning it to your business and creating actions around the plan. So that's the real core of what Empiraa does and how to optimize it. You'll be able to see that in 14 minutes, we effectively built out the plan and got the plan working, which is just insane. But that's what, honestly, if you've got a plan and if you're a consultant, you'll be able to convert very, very quickly your plans into Empiraa in 13 to 14 minutes, as you saw there. Or if you've got a, if you want to, we can do that as well as optimize it for you and create the plans. So that's the high level view of Empiraa, sort of how to optimize it and how to sort of create actions and objectives around the plan. So there's comments in the chat. If anyone's got any questions, I'll take questions for the next couple of minutes about anything else. But also next week we'll be doing the connecting your plans to Zapier. So be able to connect up. How do you connect up your plan or your client's plan to their tech stack? So here we'll be using this example next week. How do we connect this up to a spreadsheet? How do we connect the achievable 20% increase to a spreadsheet? How do we connect it up to the accounting system? How do we connect up to HubSpot? How do we measure production time? And how do we connect it up to our current systems? How do we measure team building events, ongoing training? Now, bear in mind that these are just examples. We can create any sort of goal by clicking the goal button here and clicking add another organizational goal here and just create a goal, whichever one you need. It's very, 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 very flexible in that regards. So yeah, so if no one's got any questions for us, feel free to engage with us in the community at community.empiraa.com. We're doing these live streams every Wednesday, Australia time at 10:30, which I believe Mountain Time for America is 6:30 p.m. So we'll be doing that on Tuesday night, 6:30 p.m. for America, at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time, as well as 10:30 a.m. Australian time on a Wednesday. So that's all. Feel free to jump on Empiraa.com. Any questions, ask me directly into the community. And I thank you all for attending.